Hi friends, Amy A. Strap. I've got my paper pumpkin kit in hand, ready to open the box, see what we've got, and start creating. Let's turn this camera down and get going. All right, so this is the August 2021 paper pumpkin kit. It is called the Hope Box, and here are the goodies that are inside. This month's ink spot is the Blackberry Bliss. I am going to set mine aside and use my full-size ink pad. These are available on the Stampin' Up! Website. You can order from me by going to @astrastamping.stampinup.net. It will take you to my site. This month's box is designed for you to share the box itself as well as the cards you make with it. So you can fill this box up with whatever you want to share with someone as a little gift. This ribbon is going to wrap around it to make a beautiful gift. We've got some sequins that are self-adhesive that we can put on our cards. We've also got some mini glue dots and some Stampin' Dimensionals to adhere everything together with. Here is our wonderful stamp set for this month. We've got some great sentiments, a couple of butterflies, some flowers. We've got sentiments that say always hope because, and I'm reading upside down, I'm sorry. Always hope because you never know what tomorrow will bring. Just a note of hope, just the word hope by itself, which goes with these. Where there is, and then you can stamp the word hope. There is faith. And then this bottom one says, where there is faith, miracles happen. Oh, I love those sayings. So those are the stamps that come with this month's kit. We've got some gorgeous envelopes to put our finished cards in. So there are 3 different designs here. To share your cards in. So we've got those. And let me show you what our card bases look like. So we've got this cute card front here. We've got just a plain, I believe that's just jade. And then we've got this speckled one, which I'll have to look. I don't know if that's polished pink or which pink they've put in here, but it's gorgeous. We've got the words tomorrow and hope in a couple different languages here that pop out and can be adhered. We've got some beautiful little butterfly images that we can pop out. Here's our sentiment tags that we can stamp on. We've got a couple of different layered background pieces. We've got these beautiful little tags here, little pennant tags. We've got these pieces of cardstock that can be stamped on. And I'm not sure because I haven't looked the directions over carefully, but I believe these go on the box itself, maybe. Oh, here's some more. We've got even more. So we've got a tag, some little florals, and this banner that says always hope because you never know what tomorrow will bring, just like the stamp says. This beautiful, huge butterfly, these other 2 butterflies and the flowers, those are designed to decorate this beautiful box with. And then it's got this cool belly band that is made to wrap around the box. And then you add your other embellishments and ribbon to decorate your box so that you can give it to someone else. So here's what Shelley has to say. Put a smile on someone's face. The Hope Box Paper Pumpkin Kit includes a gorgeous card kit for you to create, plus a specially designed box, the Hope Box by Stampin' Up. She created this, Shelley, the co-founder of Stampin' Up. She created this box to help you find what makes you hopeful. Simply collect mementos and precious objects, reminders of wonderful memories, and tokens that point towards exciting moments to come. Keep your curated hope box as a place to turn to for some self-love and inspiration. Or my thought was, share it with somebody else who needs a little bit of hope. So I am going to color instruction sheet that shows you the box and how they've designed it to look, and the 3 different cards and what they are designed to look like. So it looks like card number 1 starts with this lovely green one. And I am going to just take a quick peek here and see what the coordinating colors are. So we've got Bermuda Bay, Blackberry Bliss, Bumblebee, Melon Mambo, Petal Pink, Pool Party, and Poppy Parade. So what we are going to do is we are going to take this one, and actually it's probably Pool Party. I'm going to go ahead and score that so that it is ready to go. I'm going to set the others to the side. Looks like the one that goes with this card is going to be that beautiful watercolor background. So I'm going to pull one of those out of the stash here. We will be stamping on that. Get stamped. They're pre-stamped for us, so they're going to be this. So we need the hope. And we need a tomorrow. All right. Now, the way they've stamped the sentiment with the pink being at the top and the green being at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and get my stamps all ready to go here. And we'll point this camera down a little bit more so that you can see a little better what I am doing. So the first one we're using is this largest sentiment. I'm going to move the instructions out of our way. Get my Blackberry Bliss opened up here. And before I stamp or ink this stamp up, I am going to go ahead and give it a good wiping. Get it cleaned off. Any residue from manufacturing is off of it. Go ahead and just run it off on my paper real quick to make sure it's clean and dry. And then I'm going to ink it up. It's always a good idea to make sure that the ink is completely covering the entire stamp. And it's also a good idea to make sure you don't get any on your fingers so that you don't transfer it onto your cardstock. So I am just going to go straight down. Give it a firm press. I like to leave it set for just a minute to let that ink soak into that paper. And then you're going to come straight up. So there's no rocking. And generally speaking, you'll always get a nice, clean stamped image if you do that. Now, what I'm going to tell you right now is when you work with any of the reds or purples, and this Blackberry Bliss especially, you are going to see that you cannot, no matter what you do, you will not wipe all that ink off of this stamp. The photopolymer is just going to be stained, and that's okay. It does not affect how it stamps at all. So do not be concerned about discoloring those stamps. So we have a Bermuda Bay panel that's got some water splatter on it. And we are going to pop this on first, and that's what we're going to use glue dots for. So my apologies. We are actually going to put Stampin' Dimensionals on the stamped sentiment layer. So we'll go ahead and pop these off. You can just use your fingernail, or you take your pick tool or any other type of pick to remove these backing off of the adhesive dots. You always get ample, but 5 should be sufficient to stick this down with. So I am just going to go ahead and center this up on my card base and stick that down good and tight. Give it a good rub. And now we're going to put some stamp. Now they show 1 in each corner. I'm going to pop an extra in the center for a little extra support. It won't add any real weight to the card and just gives it a little bit of support on that center panel. And you can use your fingernail again, or you take your pick tool. These come off so easy that for me, it's easier to just do it by hand. And that is just going to center on top of that Bermuda Bay panel that we just stuck down. So there we've got that. Now, you could leave it the way it is, but the way they've designed it is to add a little extra color by popping these right across there. So you could pop those up if you wanted to. Yes, they're showing Stampin' Dimensionals for that. So we'll go ahead and put dimensionals on here. We'll add a lot of dimension to our card. And no longer than this one is. I think 2 is plenty. And then you can just pop that right over the word hope to replace it. And we'll pop this one right over the word tomorrow. Okay, so we've got a lot of nice dimension to our card there because we've got this panel popped up and we've got these sentiments popped up. So we've got lots of dimension going here. And these also get some of these cute little butterflies. Looking at the direction, it looks like they used the solid butterflies. So that would be these ones here. So I'm just going to pop out 2 of those. You've got enough for 2 on each card. You can arrange those anywhere you want on here. They put 1 at the bottom and 1 at the top. So I think that's probably what I'm going to do as well. And I like to have mine going in different directions because you know how butterflies are. They tend to go their own way. Now I think I'm going to stick those down with a glue dot, and then it looks like that was their plan as well. And yeah, stick that one down going this way. Pop the backing off of this one. Make it go this way. And then we're going to take some of these beautiful little sequins and we'll pop a few of those on there for some added sparkle and shine. Now these are self-adhesive, and the Take Your Pick tool works fabulous for picking off any kind of little gems or sequins or any kind of self-adhesive elements. Now you could probably put 4, 5, 6 on there. I'm going to just put 3, and there is my beautiful card, all finished and ready to go. All right, now on this card, we are using those cute little banners. So let's dig those out of our box of tricks over here. And we're going to use all 4 of these fun patterns on this one card. So I'm going to go ahead and carefully pop those out of the backing paper. They come out so easy that it just takes a quick second to do. And that's the beauty of these kits. They are designed to protect the elements until you're ready for them, and yet they pop out so easy. They're just ready to use in an instant. Now we also need the white background panel that we saw earlier, because that is going to go behind them just to help them pop off the page a little bit more. And you can just arrange those patterns however you want them to be. I kind of want my little rainbow pattern to be right side up rather than being a teardrop shape. But yes, all of these go down with glue dots. So let's go ahead and get our white panel adhered down with our glue dots. And that's the other nice thing. You could definitely use your craft glue, a glue stick, your tape runner, whatever you have handy. But if you just threw this kit in the car on vacation, or when you're going to be sitting at the kids' practice, or waiting on somebody somewhere, you could just take the whole box with you. And if you've just got a couple of simple little tools, you are ready to start crafting and creating. You really don't need anything else. Something to clean your stamps with, and your block, and maybe a take your pick tool. That's really all you would need to add to this kit to have everything you need to create these designs. So we've got that layer down. We're going to go ahead and this one. Something to keep in mind when you are mailing your cards, the more dimension you have, the harder they are to mail. They are a little more bulky and may require extra postage to make them non-machinable so that they don't get destroyed in the mail. So you can always keep that in mind when you're creating cards. If they're going in the mail rather than being handed to the person, it's something to consider. Just doing them with glue dots so that it's more of a flat element that will mail easier with normal regular postage. So they use 2 glue dots. I'm going to go ahead and use 3. And you're just going to kind of alternate high and low on these. So, and I'm going to see just how well these fit, all 4 of them on here, because I think they're going to overlap a little bit, and I want to make them fairly even. So I'm going to start this one just slightly off to the side, and didn't get that as straight as I would like. But these glue dots are fairly forgiving, so you can usually pop them up if they haven't been stuck down very long. Okay, and we'll go ahead and get this next one. And I am going to butt it up against this other one, but I am not going to get it even top and bottom. I want it to be a little off center. I'm kind of wishing that I had maybe done these differently, but that's okay. The yellows won't be butted together anyway, so it'll almost look like the yellows line up, so it'll be fine. So we've got the first 2. We're going to get this little plaid one next. Pop off those backs. Now this is something that I tend to like to play with my paper pumpkins in the evenings when we have the TV on. Maybe my husband's watching sports or a show I'm not particularly that fond of or that doesn't require my strict attention. I love crafting. I love crafting in the evening. So something that you can keep in mind if you say, well, I just don't have time to do this. Yeah, if you want to, you can find the time to do it. These kits are so easy. They don't take a lot of brain work. They've designed them for you to make beautiful cards, so you don't have to put a lot of thought process into it if you don't want to. Now, there's always a ton of fun alternatives that you can do with these kits if you like the creativity aspect of it. So by all means, don't think that, well, that's just too easy for me, because you can definitely get creative with these kits. So there we go. We've kind of got our random pattern going. We've got a little bit of white popping in the background to help them stand out. And now we are, so we'll need these three, and we need the round tag. So we're going to use one of these tags to stamp our sentiment on. So I'm going to open this up, and they use the Just a Note of Hope stamp on this one. So I'll get my stamp here. Again, I'm going to go ahead and wipe any residue from the manufacturing off of that so it's good and clean. And now, with these stamps, you see me inking it on my big ink pad down like this. If I were using my ink spot, I would probably be dabbing like this instead. So just a note, it's a lot easier to put the ink on with the ink spot, applying the ink down to the stamp rather than applying to the large ink pad the way I just did. And I always like to let it just sit and let that ink soak in for just a quick minute before I take my stamp up. See, we've got a nice clean image there. Again, those stamps are going to be stained, and that's just quite all right. The dirtier they are, the more well-loved you know they are. So this sentiment just pops down kind of right over here. They popped it up with dimensionals and did the butterflies with glue dots. So we'll go ahead and put our glue dots on our butterflies real quick. And they just added, okay. And then we'll put some dimensionals on our sentiment tag. And they show 3, and I don't think that's too many. Because remember, when it goes through the mail, it's going to get kind of smushed a little bit. So you don't want it to not have enough foam backing in there to support it, because it can tear it off. So we're just going to pop that, kind of right in there. I want my words to be level and straight. And then we're just going to add our little butterflies. And just kind of find a place that you feel like it's going to show. So the pink one kind of pops up best on that yellow. We've got a yellow one that will pop up nicely kind of down here on the purple and the turquoise. We'll kind of go half on, half off of each. And then we've got our green one, which will look nice right up in here somewhere, I think, or we could go down here. Let's just kind of go right there like that. They're all kind of turning a sequins. So we're going to go ahead and pop some sequins on here. I'm going to add some to the white space. And I like to work in odd numbers, but I think I'm going to go with a few extra. I think I'm going to put one here by the word hope. And we'll add one more kind of maybe right over here, the center of our flower. Looks like a good spot for one. Now you could certainly put them on your butterflies to give them a little more bling. But there's our second card. Background. So we've got this lovely background to work with on this card. Go ahead and get that folded on that score line so it'll lay nice and flat. We have got let's see where our elements for this one are at. So okay, this gets this large hope tag, and it gets and we need this big, beautiful die cut here. Now this is rather intricate, but you'd be surprised how durable these are. So you can very easily just gently pop that out of that base. It protects it during shipping. And this is going to pop right on top of here. So you may want to turn it, decide which way. Yeah, this probably is the way it's designed to go. So just turn it until it looks right to you. You'll kind of see that this image here goes underneath this flower. We've got the two ring looking things that are going to go right underneath these two. And then of course we've got this and these go right under these flowers and that butterfly there. So it all lines up. It all makes perfect sense when you just kind of twist it around till you get it the way it looks right. Now what we're going to do with that is we're just going to adhere that down with some of our glue dots. And the nice thing about these glue dots is that they do have a little bit of a gray on the backing paper, so they are easy enough to see so that you don't miss any of them. All right, we'll line this back up the way we had it a little bit ago. Here we go. It wouldn't look bad the other way, but I think there definitely is a way it's supposed to go. And once you find that, you can just kind of press down where those glue dots are at so that it's stuck down, so it's not coming off. Okay. And now right in the center is where this hope is going to go across there. Looks like they popped that up on dimensionals. So we'll go ahead and get our dimensionals on there. They used 4, which is probably not a bad idea. Dimensionals themselves. So we've got the word hope. And we're just going to kind of stick this down. They've got it centered up pretty pretty much in the center. I'm going to go just slightly off center. You want to make sure your word is kind of aligned straight with the top and bottom of your card. And now we're going to take and stamp our sentiments on these little tags. I'm going to clean some. Okay, for this one, we're going to get 2 different stamps. One's going to say there is faith, and the other one is going to say where there is. Okay, so I've got those blocked up. I'm going to give both of them a good scrub here with my chamois. And you will notice my chamois is not purple. If you're stamping on a budget, you can go to the automotive department at Walmart or Target or any of these stores that have an automotive section, and you can buy a huge sheet of these chamois. They are called the absorber. And I cut them up into smaller pieces. This is what they look like when they're clean and new. Just wet those down, and you got your stamp cleaner. And for about the same price as buying the Stampin' Up! Chamois, you've got a whole bunch of them. So you can always have a clean one hand or a cleaner one handy. When I say clean, they never come completely clean, but they sometimes get filled with ink and just need to be rinsed out. And I don't always like to take the time to stop my creativity to go and clean one up. So I keep 2 or 3 wet at any given time, and just kind of alternate through them. When one starts getting a little dirty, we just grab another one. All right, so we're stamping where there is on one label, and that is going to be placed right above the word hope. And then we will adhere there is faith just below the word hope. So where there is hope, there is faith, is what it will say when we get all done. Now these also are going to get popped up on dimensionals. Now these are about the same width as these Stampin' Dimensionals. So you'll want to make sure you're lining the edges up with the sentiment tag so that you're not overlapping any. Okay, and I'm just going to go ahead and get them both mounted up real quick. Now you could always use the mini Stampin' Dimensionals for these, or another option would be you can always cut these in half if you feel like they're just too wide. All right, we'll peel those backing pieces off. We're going to pop this right down here below the word hope. And this one is going to pop right above the word hope. All right. And then it also gets a butterfly. That's where the purple butterfly comes in it. Now you could definitely change up different colors of butterflies on different ones, but that's just the way they've made theirs. So we're just going to go ahead and stick with their plan on these cards, and I'll maybe mix it up on my others so that each one's slightly unique. All right, got a glue dot on our butterfly, and they just put that kind of over here by the E on this tag. Just kind of half on, half off. And then we'll get some little sequins for this card as well. So I'm going to kind of pop some in the centers of these flowers. And maybe put one on the butterflies. This one I just put up here on the white. And there we have our third card. So let me go ahead and envelopes. Get the coordinating envelopes to go with them. So they are putting this one with this card. They are putting this one with the butterfly card. And that leaves this pretty one to go with this card. So you'll kind of see that while you could mix and match them any way you wanted, you'll see the flowers on this kind of match the florals on this. We've got this pattern on this envelope. And so this one's got the butterflies and just kind of that spattered background look on it. And there we have our three gorgeous cards. So the directions for the box show that they take the belly band and it's going to wrap around like so. And you're just going to kind of fold it around and adhere it, just kind of adhere it to itself so that it will slide completely off. So you can do that with the glue dots. I am just going to, for the sake of not having a little bit too much give to it. Now, I don't want this to be so tight that I can't slide it off. So leave yourself a little looseness, a little wiggle room so that when you try to slide it off, it will come off nicely. You don't want them to have to tear up all your hard work and ruin it in order to get the box open. So, or if you're keeping it for yourself, you want to be able to get in and out of it if you're going to keep your mementos in it. So, next thing that we're going to do after we've got it on the box, we're going to tie some ribbon. So they've got this beautiful Blackberry Bliss. Looks like a linen ribbon. See if I can get it off of here. It can be tricky. I can see the end of the tape, but what I have discovered, if you can get under the edge of just that little piece of cellophane and kind of get it started, you can just tear it right off of there. And that's usually the easiest way. Now, they are saying that you want about 48 inches, so 4 feet of this ribbon. And they actually give you a nice ruler built right into your instruction sheet. So we've got 0 here. It's basically 9 inches. So there's 9, there's 18, there's 27, there's approximately 36, just go one more and we'll snip that off. Now this is where you would need a pair of scissors for this kit. Sometimes they have string or ribbon or twine elements that you do occasionally need scissors for. Okay, so we're going to just lay this flat. We'll wrap it around our box like this. See, and this is also where you don't need that belly band super tight because you're also going to have this ribbon tied around. Now they're tying theirs off, their bow off to the side. You don't want to make your ribbon too short or it will be difficult to tie your pretty bow. And I just about made mine too short. So by all means, don't skimp on the ribbon because you won't have a second shot. There's plenty on there. Use all you need to make this look pretty, because you definitely won't be able, if you cut it too short to start with, you won't be able to redo it. But that works. We've got it on there. So there's our ribbon wrapped around. After we do the ribbon, we are going to go ahead and put right over the top the large butterfly image. So we'll go ahead and pop these little elements out. Large butterflies do. All right, so we've got those all punched out, and we're going to go ahead and get our sentiment strip out as well. Okay, so we'll get our Stampin' Dimensionals out, and you can put one on either end. Now these fit a little better. You've got a little wiggle room with this banner. They put 3. And they didn't go quite as far out to the end. So I might just go ahead and I keep separate scissors for cutting adhesive. I am going to go ahead and just snip some of these edge pieces and go ahead and pop those on here because they put theirs a little closer in than I did, so we'll use a little extra. This is probably going to get a little more use than a card would, so I want to make sure it's going to stay in place. Now my bow is not, that ribbon's not laying exactly flat, so I'm going to try to work with it and get it to lay a little flatter, maybe take it a little more off to the side so that I can get it laying a little flatter. There we go. And then I can go ahead and just pop that right. Okay, so that will hold the butterfly in place because it's attached to the ribbon and it's attached to the butterfly here in the center. Okay, now these other elements, they just used glue dots on and just kind of arranged them around the butterfly. So go ahead and get our glue dots over here. Just kind of add, I think I'll add a couple of glue dots to this one. These are a little trickier just because they're so see, they're very springy. They're a little more fragile. So I think once we get them adhered down, we'll be fine. Now you can pop this on top of the butterfly. You can tuck it up under the butterfly. I think I'm going to go up under the butterfly a little bit, partially because my glue dots are not stuck down underneath, and I can kind of stick the butterfly and the flower down with it. So we'll do both of those first. They're very springy. Okay. And I think we'll tuck the other one kind of up over here. Like so. And then we've got 2 butterflies and these 3 smaller little flowers as well. I think we'll do all the flowers first on these little delicate pieces. So go ahead and glue these in the other corners. And I think we'll add this one kind of up here underneath its antenna a bit. All right, so that's what we've got so far. And then we still got a couple of butterflies that we can pop on here. So let me get some glue dots on them. And I think I will add one there. And let's see. There's kind of catty corner from one another. I think I'm going to pop both of mine down here. There we go. And then we have some sequins. You could always pop a few sequins on there if you wanted, but there is our hope box all decorated and ready to go. There is a fun little tag here that you could add with a little piece of twine or something and just kind of hook it right over here, tuck it underneath, wherever you wanted. I've got some yellow twine here. I'm just going to go ahead and cut that. Now this is from leftover from another paper pumpkin, I believe. Don't remember right now which one it was from, but I'm just going to put that through and tuck it underneath this ribbon. Kind of use my take your pick tool to pull that through. And just go ahead and tie a little bow there. And then I can write to and from if I wanted to give it to somebody. So there you have your hope box all decorated. And you've got your 3 cards that you could even tuck inside to give as a gift. So I hope that has given you some good tips and some inspiration to go ahead and get started on your kit. please, for pumpkin kits, have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. If you like my YouTube videos, I would love it if you would go ahead and hit the subscribe button so that you can find me easily next time. And you can even hit the alerts button to get contacted when I add a new one to my list. So in the meantime, happy stamping.